MrBeast Gaming hasn't uploaded in over 5 months. Has he given up on gaming, or has there been a controversy with the brand? In this video, we will be unraveling the mysteries and the real reason Jimmy will never upload on MrBeast Gaming again. Jimmy, aka MrBeast, is no stranger to making YouTube videos. This future creator billionaire is constantly raising the bar of YouTube's content ceiling, and he is not slowing down. Even within the last year, the MrBeast team has planned out months in advance to start uploading extremely high quality videos nearly every Saturday. But besides that, this shows that Jimmy knows what he's doing. There's just one problem. His videos have gotten so extravagant and massive now that they come with a pretty hefty price tag. Most of his recent videos are costing over $1 million. Now, while he may get hundreds of millions of views on each video, YouTube only pays so much for his content. So to counteract that issue, MrBeast has turned to sponsors, but this came with yet another problem.
Yeah, I've never talked about this before, so this is gonna be a weird couple sentences, but there's only so much money brands are willing to spend on a video. It's like literally half their entire yearly spend on YouTube, like brand deals, would have to go to me for one video for me to get paid fairly. So a lot of times it's like, I only get X amount of money a quarter to sponsor YouTubers with, and I'm like, well, for one video, it costs more than that. And they're like, well, then what do we do? And I'm like, I don't know.
So without sponsors and no bigger YouTube checks in sight, the only other option is to get more YouTube checks. So Jimmy started creating several new channels just a few years ago, including MrBeast Gaming, Beast Reacts, and a channel for nearly every major language with dubbed main channel videos. The first channel he started out of all of those, however, was MrBeast Gaming. The channel was created on April 7th, 2020, which was also the early stages of the coronavirus lockdown. During this time, people didn't know how to handle the crisis, so they turned to the internet. This led to an influx of viewers on YouTube for many creators, one of which was the MrBeast Gaming channel. With Jimmy's expertise, along with millions of new people flooding the YouTube pages, his channel quickly went from 0 to 10 million subscribers. An interesting strategy Jimmy used to grow his channel was to upload multiple times in a week. Sometimes he would post 3 full-length videos in 1 week, and each video would get millions of views. However, with the success of his main channel, he started uploading less on the gaming channel. But even though the upload schedule got extended, he still managed to grow the channel to over 40 million subscribers. But within the last year, we haven't gotten that many videos. And by not that many, I mean we only got 3 videos within 2023. How do you go from posting 3 videos a week to 3 videos in a year? Well, this could mean a few things. Maybe Jimmy was just getting bored with the gaming content and wanted to take a step back. Or perhaps the main channel has gotten so massive that he just doesn't have time to make the videos anymore. But there's one clue as to why this channel might have been left in the dust, and it might shock you. The first possibility we'll be talking about is the success of the main channel is holding Jimmy back from the gaming channel. This seems like the most reasonable possibility, given that Jimmy has always said that
my personality, my soul, my being is making the best videos possible, entertaining my fans as best as I can. Like, that is what exists on this planet.
So with the main channel quickly gaining millions of subscribers per week, he just wants to focus on the one channel that drives most of his success. Especially since the MrBeast channel has grown to over 227 million subscribers at the time of making this video. That is just an insane subscriber count. It's almost as many subscribers as I have. Okay, maybe he has a little bit more, but I'm sure we can close that gap by 2026. Anyway, with Jimmy's expectations for future videos and a massive audience to impress, he really has to put a lot of thought into every element of his videos. So much so that his videos are now taking months to prepare. A good example of this is MrBeast's I built 100 wells in Africa. He made a post on Twitter, or X I guess, that this one video took 8 months to plan and execute. Not to mention the cost this video brought. But not surprisingly, the video exploded and got itself over 138 million views. Can we just talk about that number really quick? The Super Bowl gets on average 100 million viewers tuning in each year, and MrBeast has averaged over 100 million views on his last 50 videos. He is virtually having a Super Bowl-sized audience watching each of his videos. I can't imagine the kind of pressure that would put on a person. But with all this time he's investing into the main channel, it's not surprising that he has to stop making content on the gaming channel. Or multiple channels for that matter. We can talk about it briefly, but even the Beast Reacts channel hasn't been uploaded to in over 8 months. Even though these videos only take about an hour and a half to record and a few hours to edit, Jimmy wants to use that time to invest back into the main channel. At least, that's what we think. There are still other possibilities for the gaming channel shutting down. And despite this next possibility's name, it's a lot more interesting than you think. Gaming is a pretty simple system to understand. You sit down, you load up the game you want to play, and you play for however long you want and then you turn it off. For gaming videos, however, it's slightly different. Most playthroughs on YouTube really don't do that well unless it's already from an established creator with a dedicated audience. So you have to spice it up to make it a little more interesting. Some examples of this are funny moments videos, challenge videos, or just live stream whatever you're playing with and talk to the viewers that tune in while you play. Fitz is a good example of implementing comedy into his gameplays, and he has a massive audience that loves to watch. For challenge videos, we'll just use Minecraft as the example game. All these channels that are popping up on the screen make videos challenging themselves to make the best survival builds the internet has ever seen. Some of these videos take hundreds of hours, and I've even seen some that have a 6-month time span of the creator working day in and day out, all for a 30-minute video at best. But for the MrBeast Gaming videos, these are categorized into challenge videos. Jimmy will take tons of his subscribers and put them through a challenge or multiple challenges to see who comes out on top. Typically, the winner will get upwards of $100,000. Sounds pretty exciting, right? You would be right if you were just watching the video. Jimmy, on the other hand, has to actually plan and make the video. This process for gaming channels already is a hard thing to do. Trying to create new content out of the same game over and over again so you aren't repetitive is a very difficult process if you aren't experienced. A challenge like this is not a problem for Jimmy. He is, after all, one of very few creators that can pump out new content on something as repetitive as Minecraft and still manage to get over 50 million views each and every time. But even though these videos do extremely well, I think it's possible that Jimmy has lost interest in the niche. He still showed great energy even up until the last video that was posted, but behind that emotion could very well be dissatisfaction. Jimmy is known to hyper-obsess on whatever he is passionate about, and given that the channel has not been taken care of for so long, it might be because he just isn't passionate about gaming anymore. And this kind of stuff happens with creators. They'll get bored of what they used to be passionate about and either switch up their content or just stop posting altogether. However, we still have 2 more theories as to why this channel is done for good. And this next topic is about to reveal the biggest struggle creators have within the biggest content category here on YouTube. If you're not familiar with the YouTube term RPM, let me catch you up really quick. When you monetize your videos on YouTube, your earnings from that video are determined by RPM, or revenue per mil. This means that you will have a set amount for that video for every 1,000 views gained. As of 2023, the average CPM for creators in the United States is between $6 to $8 per 1,000 views. So if a video got 1 million views, you would get right around about $6,000 to $8,000. But wait, I hear you say, Waterrock, didn't you just say CPM and not RPM? What gives? Well, I said RPM was your earnings, but CPM is how much YouTube pays for the entire video. Let me explain. If YouTube were to give you 100% of your earnings your video would make, then they would have no funds left over to gain. So CPM, or cost per mil, is the cost YouTube pays per 1,000 views. So then what's RPM? Well, just like any good deal, there is a revenue cut to make sure both sides get something. As of now, YouTube takes around 45% of your earnings from that video, and you are left with around 55%. So that average $6 to $8 turns into now about $3.30 to $4.40. That's still not too bad. For a video with 1 million views, you're still getting between $3,000 to $4,000. But like I said, this is the average. You see, YouTube has a pretty intricate system when it comes to paying their creators. Different niches on YouTube are much easier to do than others. Let's give an example. A gaming video is much less time consuming than a video talking about personal finance. For a gaming video, you just need a game to play, something to play it on, and a way to record. The basics for personal finance, however, is a much higher barrier to entry. To actually give factual information about finance, you probably need a college degree or some sort of credible experience. So it would only seem fit to pay those 2 niches differently. But what actually is the rate at which gaming channels get paid? Well, the answer might surprise you. Even though it is YouTube's biggest niche, getting billions of views each year, it's actually one of the lowest paying niches on the platform. The range RPM for gaming channels is from an extremely low 25 cents to an alright $4. If we take the average of that, even if you get 1 million views, you're only getting about $2,000. That sounds like a lot, but for these full-time creators, that's only enough to pay the bills, if even that. And if we apply this to MrBeast Gaming, his average video is making around about $100,000. Now, don't get me wrong, this sounds awesome. That's over the average household income in a single video. But for a MrBeast video, that's not that great. Jimmy regularly gives away $100,000 as prize money in his videos. And with only 3 videos in 2023, that's only 3 $100,000 prize pools at best. But then there's the rabbit hole of having to pay employees, so that revenue could be even lower, but we're not going to get into that. If we did, this video could easily be an hour long, and I can't even retain people for over 5 minutes. But after all that, it's pretty clear that the channel wasn't making enough money to be profitable enough for the MrBeast team. And speaking of the MrBeast team, we now come to the final and possibly most absurd possibility to the destruction of the MrBeast Gaming channel. Let me start this off by saying this is not supposed to be interpreted as homophobic. This is just general information and a valid possibility for why there have not been that many videos uploaded to the gaming channel. Chris Tyson, or now known as Chris Tyson, is the OG of OGs on the MrBeast channel. Chris was Jimmy's first subscriber on the main channel, and he has featured in hundreds of videos throughout the years. However, in the past couple of years, Chris has been changing. Not like his personality is different or anything, but he's physically changing. He's slowly been transforming himself into a more feminine look with longer hair and different clothing styles. When this became public news, not only was Chris getting flamed on all social media, but so was Jimmy. So much so that despite Jimmy never really speaking out on the hate against him, he definitely had to speak out about this situation. This was a reply he put responding to Sunny V2's video about the new Chris. Yeah, this is getting absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare, he's my friend, and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off. This is one of the very few occasions of Jimmy getting verbally angry at anyone, and it's justified. Chris has been Jimmy's friend for years, so why would Jimmy throw away a perfect friendship all because Chris decides to look different? They've been through thick and thin together, and Jimmy doesn't plan on changing that anytime soon. But even if Jimmy outwardly expresses the concern, some viewers are still disturbed about the change. So what does this have to do with MrBeast Gaming? Well, Chris was there in a lot of the videos, so here's the theory. What if MrBeast Gaming came to a halt because one of the main personas in the videos was getting hated on? It seems like a stretch, but if MrBeast fans were unhappy with Chris's decision, it could mean that any video with Chris in it would likely perform worse simply because he featured in it. However, no matter how much we can guess on why MrBeast Gaming allegedly quit YouTube, it won't bring back the channel unless Jimmy says so. At least he's been uploading more frequently on the main channel because it's been getting hard only being able to watch one of his videos per month. They're just so good. You know what else is good? Money. And MrBeast may have a lot of money, but I don't. What I do have though is this video you can watch right now talking about the complete story of the greatest theorist to ever live, MatPat, and how his retirement announcement left a few questions unanswered. Don't forget to click the video on the screen. Peace out.